Hello and welcome back to Dotspot part 2 of our elf tutorial. Okay, we left this little chap looking like this, and we're going to take him on now and try and draw him from the side, and more importantly from a 3/4 view. So you start to think of him as a three-dimensional thing, and this is going to really help you to put him into the action poses, which is in the third part of this tutorial. You might have noticed I've added a couple of accessories. That's just personal. You can of course do the same. You can dress him however you want to. As I always say, try and look at the real thing before you start. I know with an elf it's a little bit more difficult, but there's plenty of reference on the internet. Okay, to do this I'm going to take him right back to the original form that we had, just the blue lines, and I've put in some guidelines just to help us out. Okay, so I recommend that you do the same, especially if this is something new to you, and it will just help you to place all of his features into the correct position. Okay, so first of all we're going to draw him from the side. All right, and we're using the top guidelines at the top of the head and the chin line there, and I'm going to draw, if you imagine inside his head there's a skull, and his skull would be forming in this top part here. Okay, he's got a slightly oval skull, having a slightly oval head. So if we think of it like this, in this way, and from the side we have this slightly more rounder skull shape and the halfway line, and then coming down the front here to his chin would be the front of his face. So that's a good beginning, okay, to let you visualize it from the side. The ears on this character come, as we know, our ears come halfway back through the head. So let's just draw his ears in. Make sure you draw them big enough. Bigger the better, I think. And his eyes are falling between this area. So remember I said if you draw a circle and then halfway through the circle you can start to draw the eyes from the side. Okay. The nose is actually sitting very high on this character. It's sitting here, so you can bring the forehead down and out for a little stubby elf nose. And then the mouth sits in between here, and we can bring that down and then up to his chin, to his ear, sorry, and draw in just a rough mouth on this character. And when we draw it up finally, we will improve the details. Okay, so the ear, his body, have a little body here, comes down to here, and you can draw it like two circles. Sometimes it's a lot easier of the top part and the bottom part of the body, and make a little bean shape. So the back arches in there and the legs come down, and again if you use these circles it will really help you. Now we talk about balance in the body. If you draw a straight line through your character that's standing at the side, the center of balance needs to be in the right place. It's not much good if you draw a character and he's standing like this, because unless he's in a strong wind he's going to fall over. Okay, so you want to keep him balanced, and that leg will come back there. So we're just going to have it like this for now. So this is just our rough guidelines, and the arm would come out of the shoulder area here. All right, so that's him from the side. Now what about 3/4? So let me just move this guy over a bit and move him over there, and we'll see about drawing this from the 3/4. Okay, we're going to use the same guidelines. So his skull this time, not completely round from the side, it's slightly turning into space, so it's still got this oval sense, but this line where it was in the center is now turning here. So we've got his chin, don't forget, so we put his chin line in like this, and the ears, which are at the side here, they will be here. So the whole thing is turning round. To help me to understand this, you can blow up a balloon and draw features on a balloon and turn that balloon through space, and that will help you to get the idea of what I mean. Okay, so the ears will be going in here on the side, and the eyes still on this line, nice and big. He's got very big, cute eyes, and so the eyes in perspective, the one that's further away from us is starting to look a lot more narrow. And the nose, you start to see the profile of the nose like this. Okay, and bring him down, and then the chin comes up to meet the ear, just in the other one, and the forehead up and around. Okay, and that's him. Okay, and the body again, so we're going to have the body coming down a little bean. You can have 2 circles again, this will help you. And this front line will then be at 3/4, just like the head. And the shoulder will be here. And the legs are coming out here. So if you draw the 2 circles for the heels, that will help you also to place the legs in space. Okay, so these are the rough designs which will help us to draw up the final character. Okay. All right, so his eyes and his ears. Brilliant. Okay, let's have a look. So that's him from the front, 3/4, and from the side. And these are just rough guides, and we can use these to help us to draw the final character with his hat and all the rest of it. And you can refine this at any point, and the decision is yours with things like the forehead line. If you decide you want his forehead to be much more pronounced, because often in children as well, the forehead is very pronounced and it comes forward quite a lot at this point. And you could always, you could always actually decide to put this very pronounced way and then bring it right in, for instance, and up to the nose. And that gives it a very different side profile. Also, by making it a lot more simple, you can just have it coming straight up and in. Okay, so you've got lots of choices when it comes to the side profile. Thinking about what he might look like from the front, just have a play around yourself about those various profiles. Okay, I'll see you in the next part where we work up these sketches into more finished looking artwork. Okay, see you in part 3.